I got an update for you on Shaq Leonard coming. Let me write this down. Got an update. Thank you, Tracy. I'll give you the update here in a minute. Can I show you why Jalen Hurts will not win the Most Valuable Player award? Can I show you why? Here's what they're debating right now. Can Dak Prescott win the MVP? The media does not cover your guy the right way. It's a shame. The Philadelphia star quarterback is not covered correctly. They're talking about Dak Prescott and the teams of nobodies that he's beaten as an MVP candidate. You got to remember something. It's TV bias against Philly. It's even though you guys are bringing ratings, their brand is more valuable at Fox than Philly's brand. Sue goes, we already know this. Well, then stop debating whether or not he's going to win the award or not, because he's not. He has to go 6-0. Shit, I thought he went 4-1, he'd get it. And that's a great one, Greg. There's a reason why you have Tony Romo rooting for Josh Allen. When you came out of that broadcast, did you feel that Josh Allen got overcovered in that loss? Didn't you come away from that? Because I watched a different game than Romo called. Hey, dude, I thought Josh Allen was sensational, but I thought Jalen Hurts made sensational plays in critical moments. And that wasn't accentuated enough. Okay? And that wasn't accentuated enough. See, Jalen has a little Big Ben in him. I never really thought Big Ben put up really spectacular numbers, but he had throws in games that won games for him. You know what I'm saying? He had like moments in games where he just put up bigger moments. You know, you could make the argument that Ben Roethlisberger had a better career than Peyton Manning did in Indianapolis. He won 1 Super Bowl. Roethlisberger won 2. You mean to say he's better? No, I said he had a better career because he won more. Never had a losing season. Won playoff games, won more Super Bowls. I don't know. Yeah, one of those Super Bowls they didn't win on his arm. They won with his legs. Thank you, Barb. She's doing well. I'll talk more about it at the end of the program here. We're going to get to finally my top 10 quarterbacks, my top 10 teams, the MVP race. But I'm going to give you an update on Shaq Leonard. He's still in the building. He's still in the building, and it's 6 o'clock there. I asked a friend of mine, why would a guy who got his physical early in the morning, talking with coaches, what would he be doing there? And I said, could he be negotiating a contract right now? Yeah. Could be going over scheme. Could be talking Colts. Where he is. Nick knows him well. Oh, excuse me. You're right. 517. It's 517 in Philly. My bad. I think he's going to be an Eagle by the end of the night. He's got friends there. Absolutely. I think he's going to be an Eagle. Studying film. You think he's already started preparing for Sunday? And they just haven't announced the deal yet? And they're working on the final details? And he's studying? He's in the building still. You think he's watching 49er game film? God, this would be a dagger in the Cowboys' heart. Oh, getting fitted for a new helmet, getting his gear, getting his locker. His agent's probably on a Zoom call or could have flown in and could be there in the building now with Howie, cutting a deal. He's still in the building. He's still in the building at 5:19. See what Darman says? Robert Quinn 2.0. So, if I think signing a guy would help me win a Super Bowl and he completely shits the bed, I want my general manager taking as many swings like Mike Trout does to hit 310, 42 homers, and 130 RBIs. And if that means he strikes out 200 times, so be it. I'm looking for 310, 42 homers, and 130 RBIs. I don't give a shit about the shame of walk anymore. Or the walk of shame. I don't care. They got, Nick Sirianni said today, he's got 2 linebackers on the roster. So if one goes down, they got to play a guy out of position. Okay, they got to play a guy out of position or bring a guy up off the practice squad. You're going to have to play your A game versus San Francisco to beat them. You're not going to be able to play a half a game and beat that team. There's too much talent on both sides of the ball. You're not going to come away beating them, having half the game look terrible. You're not going to beat them. And don't let them jump out on you like they did on Dallas and some of these other teams like Jacksonville. Because once they jump out on you, they got you. And they're going to run you off the field. That you're not going to beat them with your B or C game. You're not. You're going to have to play as great a game and most complete game of the year to beat San Francisco, in my opinion. By the way, I'm going to make this point to you, and I'm going to bury the lead here. Tone, you're probably going to be shocked when I say this. If San Francisco comes in and beats Philadelphia, and they come into their building and beat you, are they better than you? No. You're coming off a bye. The Eagles have played 2 brutal games. Schedule's been insane. Ton of injuries. On that Sunday, you were better. We'll see you again for the trilogy. Now, if San Francisco puts 42 on you and beats you 42-10 like they crushed the Cowboys, that's a different conversation. Okay? That's a completely different conversation. Excuses. Somebody said in here, excuses. You want to see excuses? I'll show you the worst 8-3 team in the National Football League. You know who that is? It's Dallas Cowboys. They've beaten out one team over 500 and they've played shitty quarterbacks, and everyone that's been good has destroyed them. The Arizona Cardinals, I told you, I will always hold that against you. The Arizona Cardinals beat the living hell out of you. You're not that good a team. You just think you are. You want to know who frauds are? That team in Dallas is a fraud. That team in Dallas is a fraud. Shit, man. I think you're going to get beat by the Bills. They're going to get beat by the Bills. You don't believe that? Yes, I do believe that. Why do I believe? See, look at this guy. This guy, man, says I don't believe that. Really? Okay, well, I don't say shit that I don't believe. Okay? That's not what I do. Give me your most significant win this year. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, tell me the most significant win you have. Okay, I'll wait. I can't wait to hear this. The Commanders? What is Dallas's most significant win? The Panthers? Give me one and I'll go, oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that win. The Chargers? They're going to fire their coach, reports are, at the end of the season. The Panthers just fired their head coach. Carolina came from behind. The Rams is the biggest win the Cowboys have. Shit, I think that was one of the easy games for the Eagles this year. That was like a layup game for them. That was a joke. Sills, it was a joke. Now, when you're talking about the Cowboys, the whole conversation about the Cowboys is a joke. Eagles are due for a loss. You know what's crazy? I've been listening to that for the last 5 weeks. Hey, 1 week you're going to get right. Everyone's going to go, see, I told you, Sileo. Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're 10-2. Oh, my God. The luckiest 10-2 team, but the Cowboys are better. Jesus criminy. Hey, how about this, right? That's what, eventually you're going to keep doing this. Hey, man, they're going to go down this week. Hey, they're going to go down this week. Hey, they're going to go down this week. Jesus criminy, man. They've won 5 in a row. They're going to go down this week. When they go down, see, I told you. You did? 10-2 frauds, right? Top 10 NFL teams. Let's get to our weekly list. I apologize. I couldn't do this yesterday. We're going to do it right now here for you. And this week, again, this is accumulation of the entire year, not just week to week. This is not like a college football poll. At number 10, believe it or not, I got the Texans here. I got the Houston Texans as the 10th best team in the NFL. CJ Stroud, congratulations. You've elevated the shitty Texans. That is an accomplishment in itself. Yo, Big Sills, my favorite part of this year is seeing you learn what we deal with regarding these delusional Cowboy fans. Dude, it's Philly. I think it's the delusional sports media. You know what I mean? I think it's the delusional sports media. And you know what I think they do? Philly 500, you know what I think they do? I think they cover the Cowboys because win, lose, or draw, they're going to be, they're kind of like recession-proof. It really doesn't matter. I love it when Philly 500 comes in here, man. That I appreciate him doing that all the time. He's so awesome. And it's an honor to get him in here. Win, lose, or draw, they're going to create ratings. And it's the media. Dude, I don't know how America, and like a Philly 500, I also said this. I don't think, thank you. That's so awesome. Listen, I don't think they cover Jalen or the Eagles the right way because just like on the politics side, shows like CNN and shows like Fox News, they don't cover hardworking Americans. They don't cover blue-collar people. working every day, telling us stories, just like they don't cover Work Done, building homes for single moms. They don't cover him. They would rather cover Antonio Brown. Okay? That's the kind of guys they want. They would rather cover Antonio Brown than Work Done, who's given over 500 homes away to single moms. Okay? They don't, some of you have probably even forgotten the name Work Done. Work Done is an absolute, he is one of the shining stars in the NFL world when it comes to doing the right for communities. They don't cover his ass. They'd rather cover Antonio Brown. Just like they don't cover blue-collar cities like Buffalo, Boston, Philly. They call you guys racist and all kinds of bullshit, hatervilles. And they think the world is New York and Los Angeles. Work Done is a legend. I love Work Done. I covered him when I was on in Tampa for 15 years. And him and, do I still have that here? I got it somewhere. That great plaque that I got. Derek Brooks came into my studio. I'll show you that. Derek Brooks is also the same guy. Derek Brooks and those guys were just spectacular. And they were dear friends of mine. I'll show you. I got it packed somewhere over here. He used to come into my WDAE studio in Tampa and sign. And I loved him. He's such a great guy, Derek Brooks. And Work Done used to come in all the time, never say a word. And you're like, Work, man. Work Done was a great ball player. He really was. Boston is racist. Just ask Bill Russell. Jesus, I've always find that comment to be a little over the top. Not everybody in Boston's racist. I worked in that city, and not everybody is. Is there a portion of it that is? Yes. Is there a portion of Philly that is? Yes. Buffalo? Yes. Okay? Yes. It's America. Dallas? Yes. But it's the media that picks these stories. It's what I'm saying. Okay? All right. I got the Texans. Okay? I don't think Yale, you're right. Philly, no. Not Philly. I've never heard people. Well, I heard people say like the cops back in the day, but I think that's been cleaned up. So, there were legendary stories about the police back in the day, but I think that's been cleaned up in the last 40 years to an extent, at least. Okay. Every city, Twiz is right, has idiots. Number 10, Texans. How about this team making an appearance? Dare I say this? The Broncos are 9. Work Done, awesome. The Denver Broncos, I have at 9. Am I wrong to put the Steelers at number 8? I know, Jesus, right? I can't believe I'm looking at the Broncos also. I can't put the Chargers there. Right? I can't put the Chargers there. Can't put the Vikings there. No, they've earned it. They're 7-4. That's what Tone says. Steelers are 8. Tone, the Steelers are 7-4. The Steelers are 7-4. Jesus Christ. How? Mike Tomlin. Wait, let me answer my own question. Mike Tomlin is such a Hall of Fame coach. It's disgusting. If that guy had a quarterback, man, they're a Super Bowl contending team. Hey, by the way, Isaac Seumalo is having a spectacular year and earned every penny that Pittsburgh gave him. Yep, that defense is legit. They limped to 7-4, but They did it. Hey, you see the way Sayamalo's playing? Isaac Sayamalo is playing really great ball. If I'm not mistaken, Najee finally went over 100 yards this last week. He's playing great. Can you imagine Jalen Hurts on that Pittsburgh team? Can you imagine if the fate had landed that he gets drafted? You think Pittsburgh's killing them? Get this. They missed on two guys, Dan Marino, and they missed on Jalen Hurts. If Hurts is in Pittsburgh, I'd like to have known what that would have looked like. Tomlin plus Jalen Hurts, Jesus criminy. Can you imagine the intensity that would have been in that building with Mike Tomlin and Jalen Hurts? Holy shit. Dude, that old place would be like, oh my God, man. Would you have any? Hey, let me ask you guys this. Do you think Jalen Hurts is having fun? You think he's having fun? You think Hurts is enjoying himself? Look at Yale. I think so. I think so. Not a lot of conviction. Look at Tone. I think he is. But ultimately, he's all business. Well, Tone. There you go again. Tone's running for mayor for Philly again. Hey, I think he is. But it's all business. Do you think he's enjoying himself? Yes or no? I wonder. Does he look like he's enjoying himself when you watch him in overtime? When the guy made the kick, did he look happy or I couldn't tell? Hey, when the kid Elliott made the field goal, did he look happy or did he look dejected? I was like, no, wait, is he upset because he didn't lead a game-winning drive in regulation? Tone goes, he'll enjoy himself on It's a Wonderful World at Disney World. It's a frightening ride. Trust me when I tell you. It's a wonderful world. They put you in a boat. There's all these crazy kind of like mannequins. And I'm not real big on clowns. They're kind of really creepy to me. So when you go, the only reason I sit in the boat and It's a Wonderful World is because it's hot as Hades out. And it's cool. They got air conditioning in there. And when I'm going around, these things jump out at you. And I'm not real big on that. I almost jumped into the thing a couple times. I've been to Disney World probably 100 times. Because when I worked at iHeart, you get these free passes. And we used to get free passes. And I worked there for 14 years. So my wife and I used to go there with my kid we go every week. We get invited to craziness. I mean, it was crazy parties all the time at Disney World. And they would always have me go into Wonderful World. And every time I went into Wonderful World, I come out and they go, how was the ride? I go, man, the thing kind of spooks me a little bit. The teacup ride too, never good. I'm spinning around in a teacup. Big Sil's in a teacup. I don't know. Made me a little uncomfortable. I've been to Disneyland once. I never would go back again, Kenny. Okay? I would never go back because you're on the 405 for 100 million hours. And when you're in Los Angeles, you're in your car the entire time. I took my daughter there twice, and I said, I'm never going to Disneyland. And by the way, everything at Disneyland is shorter because they made it for like short people back in the 50s. I mean, even the castle's smaller. Like the seats are smaller. Everything's smaller. I'm like, Jesus, Grammy, everybody was 5'2" in I'm 6'2", and everybody in like the 50s must have been 4'3". And I'm like, holy God, these guys look like my Italian relatives, like my Aunt Jenny. She's 3'9", right? And I'm going like, who can fit in that? I can't fit in that gondola. Half the things they got there, not happening. Space Mountain, that dive they have, I don't know, man. That dive they had, man, it throws me up because then it takes an immediate right. It goes crazy. I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, Space Mountain's a pretty good ride. That Matterhorn thing's pretty good too. Yeah, you can't eat the cotton candy. And by the way, I tell all my friends, I told Barrett Brooks when he went down to Disney World, hydrate. Because if you're going to Disney World in June, some of you in here know what I'm talking about. If you go to Disney World in June, you better hydrate days before. Because if you start walking, with my wife, I had my kid in my hand, and she was a little tiny kid. Hey, senor, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm walking with my daughter maybe 20 minutes. I had to put my kid down. My wife looked at me, hair's just completely soaked. We're all soaked. She looked at me. She goes, "You're effing pathetic." My wife carried that kid around for 3 hours. I'm sitting there going, "I can't do it, man. Big, strong piece of shit like you. You can't carry your kid for 3 hours. Pathetic." I'm like, man, I've never seen more kids get their ass kicked also. You want to know, hey, Tone, you want to see child abuse? Go to Disney World. Come here, kid. The kid's going to get his ass kicked, man. Sit down here. Eat your food. After a while, your parents just get tired. They can't handle it. It's too much heat. And then at the end, you have to walk 88 miles to your car. Damn, don't you even have like a bus to take me? Nah, you got to walk. You're chugging away. You're tugging to your car. By the time you get to your car, man, you're completely exhausted. Going to Disney World is not a fun thing for adults like me. It's terrible. Senor, if you live there, you know what I'm talking about. It's terrible. I got to walk to my car. My car is in lot 88D. How far is that? 8 miles. Dude, it's like the Baton Death March. I'm not kidding you. I cannot. No. Dude, honestly, it's an outing. My new outing is like the wave place now Disney has. The beach place. I'm all right with that. Okay, but if you're going to take me to Disney World, not in June or July. That ain't working for me. If I want to lose about 38 pounds, that's where you go. Us poor folks went to Knott's Farm. Knott's Farm, I've been to, dude. Poor folks. Dude, I went to those places because they were free, not because I had money. Big fish, little boat goes, hey, Big Sills with big money going to Disney. No, I got them for free, dog. Big Sills, does it look like I pay for things? You got to understand, everything you see me wear, it was given to me. The thing I'm doing my show on was given to me. The microphone are from Big Joe and Xander, were given to me. I don't pay for shit. Ask them, they'll tell you. Maybe I'm being a little too honest here. Okay? I don't buy my clothes. Fell off the truck? Hey, okay. You want to be more of an Italian guy? Let me get back to this list. Okay? Big Sales lives off of Hooters wings? Okay. Gift cards? Okay. I'm doing spaghetti and meatballs tomorrow. Good for you, man. The Disney World this year averaged 30 miles a day for 4 days. Cali Green. Oh, my God. Am I wrong when I say it's like climbing Everest? Oh, Big Sills is cheap. The rest of my family now, that's a different story. You can ask my aunt. Believe me. Okay? Hey, Cali Green, tell the truth. It's like an epic journey when you go to Disney World. It's an epic journey. I hate going to Disney World. Hey, we're going to Disney World this year. Ugh. Get ready. My wife says it. Get ready. Oh, God almighty. Ugh. Calabrese sauce. It's kind of French sauce, but okay. Aaron Rodgers activated today. 21 day. I saw that window. Why? Disney World blisters. Okay, Freddie. Freddie's in the room. He knows what I'm talking about. Hey, Freddie, that big old blisters on the bottom. You're like, how did that happen? To go see a damn mouse? Mm-mm. I don't know what happened yesterday, but I have the wife on the prayer list. Thank you, David. It's better. I'll get to that at the end of the program here. Let me reset this. Big Shield's top 10 NFL teams for the week heading into week 13. Texas 10, Texans 10, Broncos 9, Steelers 8. I got the Cowboys at 7. I got the Lions at 6. I got the Jags at 5. I got the Chiefs at 4. I've got the San Francisco 49ers, 3. I got the Ravens, 2. I got the Philadelphia Eagles, the number 1 team in the NFL. So, Eagles 1, Ravens 2, Niners 3, Chiefs 4, Jags 5, Lions 6, Cowboys 7, Steelers 8, Broncos 9, Texans 10. I got the Dolphins. You could put the Dolphins 8, 9, and 10, or the Browns in there. But I'm going with coaching over those other teams. I'm taking Tomlin, Sean Payton, and DeMeco Ryans at 8, 9, and 10. And that's why I chose those teams. Okay? Now, top 10 quarterbacks. I don't think Jalen's ever been on my number 1 spot the entire year. And I don't know if he will be here. But let's go. At number 10, I got Josh Allen here. Josh Allen is, in my opinion, the epitome of talent when it comes to that position. He is strictly an insane talent. And I think he needs better coaching. Sean McDermott, in my opinion, is not the right guy for that job. And they're wasting him. Number 9, I got Trevor Lawrence at 9, Jags. Number 8, I got Jared Goff, Lions. Number 7, I have Tua Tagovailoa. At 6, I got Prescott, Cowboys. At 5, I have Lamar Jackson, Ravens. At 4, I got C.J. Stroud, Texans. 3, I got Brock Purdy, Niners. And here are the top 2. At number 2, from the city with the arch, or the state, I should say, with the arch, because that thing's in St. Louis, but Missouri. So I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Chiefs. Jalen Hurts, for the first time this year, is number 1 on my list for the top quarterbacks. Let me see what CBS did. CBS also had Hurts number 1. They had Purdy 2. I had Purdy 3. They have Mahomes 3. I have Mahomes 2. They have Allen 4. I can't put Josh Allen 4th after a loss. I have him 10. They have Dak 5th. I have Dak 6th. They have Lamar Jackson 6th. I have Lamar Jackson 5th. They have CJ Stroud 7th. I have him 4th. They have Tua 8. I have Tua 7. They got Russell Wilson in their top 10 at 9. I have Trevor Lawrence 9th. They have Trevor Lawrence 10th, and I have Josh Allen 10th. Okay? You gave Josh Allen credit for losing to Jalen. That's the problem that we have in today's freaking media. Right there, Tone. Right there. Okay? Right there is exactly the problem that you get with today's media. Allen got credit for a loss. You can't play great in a loss. There's no such thing. And get extra credit for it. Okay? Now the MVP race. This is a little different. Here is the MVP race. Number 10. I got Tyreek Hill, Dolphins. He's still on pace for insane numbers. I think the Dolphins are better, too. They got Ramsey back. Their corners and some people and pieces are back defensively. I think they're a better football team than what the Eagles played them. I'm not saying that Philly couldn't beat that team right now. I'm just saying they're better. I got Christian McCaffrey at 9. Spectacular year he's having. Spectacular year. Number 8. I got Trevor Lawrence. Number 7. CJ Stroud. This is for the MVP. Texans. Number 6. Second Niner. Brock Purdy. 49ers. Now we go into the top 5. Tagovailoa, 5, Dolphins. Number 4, Dak, Cowboys. Number 3, as we move into the top 3, Lamar Jackson, Ravens. And here are your top 2. I got Mahomes 2 and Hurts 1. Hurts is the leader heading into these 2 critical games. He loses one of them, he'll lose the award. Here's what'll happen. You see Prescott? If Jalen loses the Niner game, or no, say he wins the Niner game, and then Dak beats him, or if he loses the Niner game and then Dak beats him, Dak Prescott will win the Most Valuable Player award. He'll have to win out too, Dak. Oh, he might not have to, but they'll give it to him. The guy who is the safe pick for the MVP is Mahomes, because he's wedged. He'll never be able to do it. He'll always be in the MVP conversation because of who he is and what he's done. But if Hurts loses, especially the next 2, he's finished. ESPN has the Eagles ranked 7th at 10-1 as the best team in the league. The majority of the national media are all Cowboy related. Where are you getting the vote from? And where are you getting the PR push when people are debating Here, Dak's going to lose to Tua, Josh Allen. Okay. That's all good and well, Billy Ray. But when you have national people on shows like this today talking about, can Dak win the MVP? There's no comment about Jalen winning the MVP. You got people debating this every day on a network that carries the Eagles. They have the NFC. They're not promoting the NFC. Don't you remember last year? I'll give you a great example of that. Tone, I know you remember this. Remember the last week of the season? I think still home field was up for grabs, kind of in a way. Like if Philly lost and Dallas won. Do you remember what they were doing, Fox? They were promoting in a game that could determine the winner of the NFC East. And it had already been wrapped up in a way. Okay? But they were promoting it that way. Then they ended up getting beat by Washington. And after that, it didn't matter if they won or not won. I don't think it mattered. And Fox was promoting it in a game that could determine the NFC East. No, we couldn't. And they were promoting it. Then they ended up getting waxed by Sam Howell and the Commanders in the final game of the year. Remember? I was like, what okay, where did that come from? Tyler, you're still not getting it. Don't talk in reality when you're talking about the Cowboys and the Eagles and networks. Only MVP that matters to Jalen is the Super Bowl MVP. The MVP has nothing to do with the Super Bowl. It's a regular season award. It's not a postseason award. So it should matter. That means you played well. People get that skewed. The most valuable player award, the most coveted award in the regular season for the NFL is the MVP award. Has nothing to do with the postseason. Nothing. Zero. It's voted on before the playoffs. All the votes are tallied before the playoffs. Has nothing. Whatever you do in the playoffs has no bearing. So it's a regular season award. You don't want that for him? Oh, okay. Only one that matters is the Super Bowl MVP. No shit. Well, that's a different season. The Super Bowl and the playoffs are different. It has nothing to do with the regular season except for seeding. All right, let me take a timeout. Okay? Let me take a timeout here. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Football and Hooters, the perfect pair.